You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Legends House After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Legends House After Show.
Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous. The Legends got to go to Vegas. But we're here in LA at the AfterBuzz Studios.
I'm not jealous. When I go to Vegas, I have to stay outdoors and it's hot as balls, as Gene Okerlund would say.
Well, we're going to talk about Episode 3, Striking Out, and Episode 4, Viva Las Vegas, here on AfterBuzz TV Legends House. Welcome, everybody. I'm Christian Rosenberg, joined once again by, first off, the Pixel Pro Wrestling champion, the Hobo.
That's right, and maybe Hollywood Heritage champion by the end of this weekend. Sunday, they got a big title match. See what happens.
We'll see. And
I'm rooting for me.
And next to you is our current predictions champion here at AfterBuzz, Soapbox Mark Donica.
Well, yeah, a little something.
And I will be reigning after Payback.
Okay, we'll see about that. You got a lot of hungry AfterBuzz hosts want that title. And meanwhile, this past weekend, I kind of got an entire wrestling company.
Kind of?
Well,
I
own, Christian Rosenberg owns Alpha Omega Wrestling. We will have
Pride of the High Desert.
We will have an exclusive clip of that epic moment on SmackDown AfterBuzz this Friday.
Of course you will.
Yeah.
Well, that's good for you. It's your show.
That's right, and gonna plug it. And damn it, I just did. Let's talk about Legends House. So Episode 3, Striking Out. The show starts off, Legends just kind of hanging around the house, and they find out, hey, we're going bowling.
Why not?
Why not?
That's what older gentlemen do.
Yeah. Hell, older gentlemen. I love going bowling. I don't consider myself old.
You don't.
No. How old are you, Hobo?
Old enough.
I was gonna say, are you older? Am I older than you?
Maybe.
Oh crap!
I'm timeless. The Hobo is timeless.
Sure, that smell is not timeless.
It probably breaks both sound and time barriers. I can give you that.
Telling me I'm sitting next to you.
So the Legends arrive at the bowling alley, and they find out that they're going up against this fierce team of old ladies.
The Bowling Queens.
The Bowling Queens.
They really look like queens, man. They had spangly outfits and tiaras. They look like the real deal. I would have been shaking a little bit if I saw them.
Well, I think we can officially proclaim now that Mean Gene Okerlund finds every single woman alive attractive.
Oh, my God.
Because here and now, you know, women of his age, and he's as googly-eyed on them as he is of Ashley.
And I've got something to say. Like, every time he says Ashley, it's so creepy.
And it's every time he sees her.
Oh, Ashley. Hey. No.
No.
But also, speaking of Mean Gene, when they were walking down to the lane, he already had a drink in his hand.
Yeah,
he already had a vodka in his hand.
Gene ever stops.
Nah, he's like a fish.
He just lives inebriated.
Like he steps out of the car and is like, before I walk in to a building, while I'm outdoors.
Well, it's Palm Springs. It's so damn hot.
It's true.
Just ain't a drink.
Yeah, I need to cool down with some vodka tonic.
Right.
Jeez. So the Legends take on the Bowling Queens, and they find out right away that the Bowling Queens are for real.
Yeah.
They're
well, and they're not. It's
yeah.
I mean, they are not any sort of competition for a bowling league of any kind. Those are people who work together. These are not people who do anything together.
And the song that they used was a rewritten version of a song called "Walk Idiot Walk." which I believe was the Hives. The Hives had a song called "Walk Idiot Walk," and that was like a couple of like notes off, but it was "Walk Idiot Walk."
And I love first off, hearing Hacksaw talk about it, is just like, well, you know, it's not exactly a fair fight because we're in their sport. Now, if they were in the ring with us, we'd probably win.
No kidding, Hack.
Thank you for clarifying that.
2x4 in your hand, of course. Beat up an old lady.
And then also, though, Hillbilly Jim, again, is like the nicest human being on the planet. He's just like, well, I'll tell you what, those old ladies, they whipped our behinds, but we had a lot of fun.
He still managed to get flustered, though. In the midst of things, you could see him just, oh, gosh.
And he was real sweaty.
He was,
got
for some
real
reason.
He got really sweaty bowling.
Yeah, he was nervous.
Maybe he was just really concentrated.
Like he had sweat. It wasn't like pit stains. It was like
it was like chest
his
and
back.
It was like the ribs. It was weird.
He was real getting hot.
It was rib sweat.
He needed to hydrate. I was worried about his electrolyte count.
Well, too much alcohol and not enough H2O.
I liked when Gene was just trying to get his legs. Atlas said, "You had enough time to shop for a home." While the ball was going down the alleyway, just like
you can order a pizza. You can find a new home before that ball hits the pins.
And Piper this entire episode, or these both episodes, was just not having anything.
Piper, I don't think Piper realizes that the show is TV PG.
No, it's TV 14 because of him.
It's only 14 because of Piper.
I think I should start counting down how many times he says F this S. Because he said it like 2 or 3 times amongst both episodes.
That would be a fun drinking game. We'd catch up to the legends.
Oh man,
playing that drinking game.
We'd be
Gene,
under
though.
this table. Not Gene.
Like there should be a Legends House shot glass on the top is Mean Gene. And the bottom is Piper because he quit. Good for him.
There you go.
So if you have one drink, you've surpassed Piper.
Exactly.
Right.
Once you reach 30, we're at Gene.
Yes.
Maybe that's the new word that replaces sober. Oh man, I'm Piper right now. I'm gonna go for a drink.
Jeez. Yeah, make that sell. Try to get that over.
Which one do you use to designate a Piper?
See, that works.
Yeah.
You're cantankerous and sober.
Well, needless to say, the Bowling Queens were victorious.
Tony got a tiara out of it.
By like not even a close
It was like 100
margin.
pins.
150.
It was 736 the Legends versus 870 or 736 versus 876 the Queens.
140.
140 pin victory.
Yeah, not even remotely close.
No. But yeah, as you said, Tony Atlas got a tiara, and Hillbilly got like a big ass grab. Like one of the girls grabbed his ass.
I mean, you compliment all throughout the night. You know, you get a little something for it.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it rubs off.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Apparently it did. So then the Legends head back to the house, and as soon as they're back, Ashley returns in a new outfit. And
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally.
It's a different day.
Of course.
Well, not in TV land.
No, of course not. This all happened within 40 minutes.
This was all an hour span.
Of course.
Boy, they sure do move.
Yeah.
And she announces that we have a challenge for the Legends. They are going to film, act, direct, and help edit a commercial for a local business. And the team with the best one will win a prize. So we have Team Piper versus Team Okerlund.
Yep.
Tony Atlas was picked last.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
I mean, he doesn't have the best diction in the world. I love his colloquialisms and all that, but he is just on camera not. I wouldn't pick him for this. And he just wanted to be cameraman the whole time.
Well, no, he sensed, like, I was picked last. Nobody wants me to do anything, so I'm not going to do anything. I'll just be on the camera, and I don't want to be in it.
I mean, on one hand, I can understand that completely. On the other hand, it's like, oh, you're just being stubborn.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I can see that, too.
Because he had his own visions during this whole thing, and then he wouldn't contribute at all, or he'd contribute and totally go the other way than the way everyone else was going. It wasn't helpful, and I think this whole scenario of them making commercials was perfect because you got to see them work together, and they don't.
And be creative.
And they really don't work well together at all.
I think the most valuable player for doing the wrong thing goes to Jimmy Hart.
And let's talk about Team Okerlund first. Let's talk about Team Okerlund before Team Piper. So Team Okerlund, they find out that they have to do a commercial for an auto spa, pretty much a car wash.
Yeah, car wash.
A nice car wash. They had Bentleys in there and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say the taglines that Patterson was going for.
Oh,
Jeez.
Pat. Oh, Pat.
Um,
First he meets a bigger queen than him, and now he's at the car wash giving out the best hand jobs in Palm Springs.
Guaranteed best hand job around. How about that?
God. How does he get away with this?
Punch.
And maybe that's why it's TV 14.
Best
and not
blowers,
Yeah,
hey.
there's a whole lot of dirtiness going on.
Pat Patterson is still in the Attitude Era in his mind. He still
He
thinks
never left.
He still thinks he's Vince's stooge.
I mean, you've been backstage at wrestling shows. You know what it's really like, and you get to see that with this show.
Yes.
This is a toilet humor that goes on in every backstage area in America.
Yeah, there's some of it where I'll look at the guys and be like, aren't we all adults here? And then I realize, oh, wait, we're in a wrestling locker room.
No,
No.
there are no adults.
Yeah.
There are only wrestlers.
So,
Is that your next shirt?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So they're trying to film, the commercial around the car wash, and Jimmy is trying to chime in. Hey, we should do this. We should change this. We should do that. Hey, why don't we do this? Hey, how about a little less of that? Just really trying to steamroll the entire project.
We're just giving his 2 cents, like, completely. Just shut
it
it
was-
Giving
up.
his 4 cents. He was giving a damn nickel.
He was close to $1.
Oh, jeez.
And just pissing Gene off the whole time, which is so funny.
I love the part where Gene opens the trunk and you see Jimmy like vacuuming.
Really
It's like-
sucks, Mean Gene.
This really sucks.
Wait
But the
till I
thing
give
is-
you the damn cue line.
But the part with it is you're watching him do it, and you see Jimmy as clear as day just staring at him through the back windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise at all when he opens the trunk.
Love it. And Mean Gene describing Jimmy Hart's voice. Oh, his shorts are a little tight, voice a little high. Gives you a damn headache.
And then we have the quote unquote incident
Oh, jeez.
where they're filming.
Patterson?
Yes, where they're filming inside the car wash, and Jimmy Hart's towards the back of the car, and they're waiting for some type of cue, and all of a sudden the car wash starts going on Pat, and he's screaming and cussing,
Just mad as a wet hen.
freaking out, takes off his work shirt, throws it at the car. He's like, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Get out of here. Don't talk to me.
You got that French Canadian thing down. That's weird.
It's pigeon English.
He's got that 70-something-year-old Canadian accent down.
Yeah. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Legends Roundtable, and he's on it a lot, so I've got it in my head a lot.
Patterson and Gene are accusing Jimmy of hitting the button to like trick Patterson.
And of course, Jimmy's the most irritating defensive man ever. I didn't do it, guys. I didn't do it. It's terrible.
do it, man.
I didn't do it. Come back.
Come on, baby. I didn't do it, man.
Somebody has a really good Jimmy impression. I forgot to write down who it was, but it's like dead on the show. It might be. I think it was Hillbilly. Hillbilly Jim's got a real good. Yeah, and when they were manscaping, we'll get to that. But he does a real good impression of Jimmy. It was just like it's good.
And in the midst of this, also Hillbilly again is the one who's like, "All right, guys, what happened. Let's try to move on.
Yeah, he was the
It's in the
camera guy.
past."
He's just the most calming man in the room. It's okay, everybody. Just relax. We're all good.
But they then remembered that they had a video camera set up on that side somehow.
Yeah.
And-
TV frickin' magic.
Yeah, it had 2 angles.
They had 2 angles for that one part of the commercial that they were filming. And lo and behold, they see that it is the owner of the car wash that hits the button and not Jimmy.
Because Patterson was trying to rib Jimmy, and instead the car wash owner thought he said, "Yeah, when I'm in place, hit the lever." It's like there's just a rib gone wrong. He ended up ribbing himself.
Yes. So, I mean, that in a nutshell was pretty much them filming it. We'll get to the editing shortly.
Yeah, when they said, "Oh, now it's time to edit," I was like, "You're not gonna give these guys final cut, are you? That's so mean." Just like
No, I knew they would
Quest
be
for
getting
Fire editing. Just like, I don't know how to work this damn computer. But But that, yeah, no. I was relieved to see those guys walk in. Hello.
Like they had to have somebody. There's no way. I mean, unless there's no freaking way.
No, there's no
they
way.
had to have guys. It was the only thing in my head.
Maybe Fink could do it. Maybe.
Maybe.
To give him Windows Movie Maker. But aside from that, nobody's getting like Final Cut Pro.
Let's talk about Team Piper.
Team dysfunction.
All right. So first off, yeah, they're just a dysfunction in itself. Then they find out what they have to do a commercial on.
When this weird guy gets out of his van
What was
wearing
that guy
odd,
wearing?
like paisley green pants and says, "Hey guys, I want to show you something in the back of my van."
It's like, wait, hold on.
Piper, whoa, wait, buddy, whoa.
I want Hacksaw to say, like, didn't I wrestle this guy back in like the 80s? Because that sounds like a wrestling character.
He looked like a manager, really. With the hair and the teeth and the whole gimmick, he looked like like he could run ringside.
So he opens the van, and out come 100 plastic pink flamingos.
I was not expecting that.
I was not either. I was
Nope.
expecting like golf clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the pants. That's like
No, yeah, those were golf pants.
And then he opens the trunk, and we see it in almost like a museum-like display,
rubber.
like 1,000 rubber duckies.
I mean, I just was sitting there just wondering to myself, what the duck is going on?
This man apparently has some type of successful business in the Palm Springs area.
Some type, but we don't know how successful it is. He's
Successful
trying to...
enough for them to use him on this show.
Well, not necessarily. They probably went for a weird business.
Right.
Well, yeah.
They went for a regular business and a weird business.
His business is renting plastic flamingos and rubber duckies to put in your lawn for parties.
Oh, ducks go in the pool. Because, that's a thing that people do.
I want to see invoices on how many people placed orders for this.
Now that we're talking about it, I really don't think this was a real business. I didn't see a phone number or anything.
I mean,
I don't even think the man had a name.
Didn't they have a website on the commercial?
I don't think they did. I think this may have been a television gimmick.
Oh, who knew?
Yeah, really. Reality television. So real.
Part of me really wishes it's real, though.
No, me too. I wonder how far they travel.
It possibly could be.
You know what? I want us, I'm saying this right here. Someone contact the Flacco Flamingos guy. I want a flamingo on this show.
Flacco Flamingo. Flacco Flamingo. Flacco Flamingo.
Rubber ducky. Ducky, rubber ducky.
Damn it, Tony.
Tony,
they love
Tony,
the ducky.
You came in too early.
I'm sorry.
So, I would love us to get one of the Flacco Flamingos, and we just keep it right here.
Right in the middle. This
why
is
we do
Legends
this
House
show.
AfterBuzz.
That's
We have
right.
a pink flamingo.
No, they got to be coming out of the seams.
Just everywhere we pin them to the ceiling.
The rubber-
they just drop
There's
down
just
into
one
view.
just coming up from the wide shot.
The rubber duckies would match the mics and everything.
Can
so-
we get spit guards that are just rubber duckies with their heads poking out that way? So it looks like their body is the thing with just the head poking out. So it looks like we're
Flamingo,
talking into
work
ducks.
on it. I want to talk into a freaking duck. Make it happen. So that's the project they get, and Piper is just pretty much what we're doing. What the F am I doing?
Just madness.
So they do, yeah, they think it's madness, so they make a commercial that's they're all insane.
Because, honestly, this whole thing is insane.
What do? How do you advertise renting plastic flamingos?
How do you make it look like a good time? Is it let's have a cocktail party? No, that doesn't look like fun. What's the point?
It's like one of those awning infomercials. It's the before and after, Look at our awning. Without our awning, it had so much sun. Now there's shade. Before, we just had a regular thing. Now there's friggin' flamingos everywhere. Is that really an improvement?
That'd make me go crazy.
Really?
I don't know. But yeah, they're filming each other just running around with the flamingos, and then all of a sudden Fink shows up in his classic tux.
Naturally. You had to bring it.
That's fine.
He was on a date with one of the flamingos.
Yeah, pretty much.
I want you to have a tea party with a flamingo.
All they needed really was just set them up along the lawn, don't have anyone in it, and just slowly pan over the flamingos and have Fink's voice in the background. Like, would you love to have your yard look like this at your next party?
Me neither. Go back to what the original thing was.
Yes.
Because I'd be like, oh, what's a what? Madness?
And just Piper directing, it just leaves you wondering what his vision is. What this whole thing they're filming it, and you're just going, what is going on? What are you trying to do? Like the car wash thing, you're like, okay, well they're gonna wash a car, and then you go back to this, and they're chanting and like duck worshiping.
Well, what would you do with a freaking plastic flamingo that you have to rent?
I probably wouldn't go as far as they did, but I would try to do something crazy, memorable, and silly.
Well, they certainly achieved all of that.
They did. And in the midst of all this, Tony was just kind of along for the ride. He wasn't really chiming in his opinion. He was just like, whatever.
I'll use the camera.
Yeah.
But then,
he had different ideas.
And
yeah, but then he'd show up, and then he'd stop, and then he would, and then he'd stop.
I did like his vision. I thought
did too.
Trying to really get into the sort of the childlike mindset it was the way to go, because it's just sort of silly and fun, and you just kind of need to be silly and fun with it.
I mean, flamingos that's something we used to see on television like way back when. So that kind of mindset of being a child, seeing that stuff on TV and going, oh, that's normal, that's cool, that's fun. It makes sense. Like, if you're trying to make a real commercial out of it, if you made like an old Leave It to Beaver style old-timey commercial, maybe, but it wouldn't be as memorable as this was.
No, it wouldn't. And I think this whole thing sort of highlights how Tony is. Tony's very different from everybody else. He's got his own ideas, and if you deviate from that, he just sort of doesn't want to play with you.
Yeah. So then they all meet up with editors to edit their commercials together.
Thank God.
Team Okerlund.
You want a drink?
Yeah, right. Team Okerlund actually worked well together with the editor. They kind of were getting along, added like voiceover dubs on top, and they seemed to be very pleased with how their project ended at the end. Team Piper, Tony just like throws a tantrum and storms out, and Piper is kind of just like, I want him there, but hell, if I have to do this by myself, I'm going to do it by myself.
The man's got a deadline. I respect that.
Yeah.
He is one of those guys who gets things done. He's worked on several movies. He's done all of these different projects, and you know what? That really speaks to the caliber of the man himself as a businessman and his ability to meet deadlines. So he's got a deadline, and he's going to meet it. If it's going to tear him in half, that's going to happen, but he's got to meet his deadline.
Yeah, he went up to Tony, asked him, hey, how you doing? He said, I'm done. Okay, you're done.
We're done.
Going back to work.
Yep. Like, time to go back to work.
Right. He's not going to play with him. He's got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Then next morning, all the editing's done, and they are visited again by Ashley, and she is along with the Commercial Kings.
The Commercial Kings.
Internet darlings,
But just
Commercial
before that,
Kings.
Piper dawdles out of his bed with one sock on, looking like death. That was tremendous. I think he's had a difficult time working on this commercial, to say the least.
He was up all night.
His hair is off to one side, wearing a sock. He's just got a blanket wrapped around him. Oh, we're doing the thing today. Oh, crap.
You could say he was up all night to get Ducky.
Whoa.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is Mark's final show.
I'll see y'all later.
You are one punny mother ducker.
He just screwed up his
Good luck getting it back up.
No, I'm here for life.
Now we're the same height.
But
I like this.
But now before we get into the Commercial King's judgment, Hobo, once upon a time, you got a chance actually to work with the Commercial Kings, along with our buddy, good old Mr. Brian Smiley Katz.
Yep,
Lemon.
He hooked it up, and it was probably one of the most interesting experiences I've had in television. We actually filmed the first episode for Commercial Kings, and it was a long shoot, and it ended up being pretty fun there at the end. And I'll tell you, the Commercial Kings, they were talking about, are we going to actually wrestle anybody, as they were walking up to the house? And she goes, well, I don't know, but it's okay because we taught them how to wrestle.
That's right. They were ready to go because of you guys.
They've got wrestling experience, and they made a commercial for us, and I think we're about ready to play that now.
I think we're going to play for the people that are watching on YouTube that might have seen it yet. So check out the commercial that the Hobo was in with the Commercial Kings.
Even the audio on this is pretty spectacular.
Yes.
You should really enjoy it.
Make Me a Pro Wrestler Pro Wrestling School teaches you everything there is to know to become a pro wrestler. Learn all the moves. Moonsaults, headbutts, fireball in the face. You could be intimidating.
I'm gonna eat you for breakfast, boy.
Too late. It's lunchtime.
Create your own persona, baby. You might not believe it. This is all within your grasp. Come join us at Make Me a Pro Wrestler Pro Wrestling School.
The hobo was a baby.
Yep,
The baby was a
just
hobo.
a little bit there. Actually, I was me, and then I was the baby, which was a point of some serious contention on the television show itself.
You can see clips on ifc.com.
There you
Yes, or you can just find it on YouTube. I know it's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's in its entirety on YouTube.
go. So the Commercial Kings, they review both commercials, and they actually decided to go the route of it's so hauntingly bad, it's more memorable that way. And Team Piper somehow won this contest.
I don't think somehow. I think they 100% nailed it. The cursing of Pat Patterson doesn't work in all hours and all regions, so I think they made the right choice.
Pat cursing was funny and kind of out of left field. I mean, it obviously caught them by surprise, and they found it incredibly funny. But yeah, like you said, it wouldn't work on, let's say, daytime television.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of not the place to have an old man just lose his lunch.
You
in a
wouldn't see this
verbal
during The Price
fashion.
is Right.
No,
Maybe
you'd see it
not,
like
no.
2 a.m.
Something like that.
Side it probably during
About championship wrestling from Hollywood time.
Yeah.
So Team Piper wins the challenge, and their reward is they're now all heading to Vegas, and Team Piper gets to go in a limo, while Team Okerlund is stuck in a big van. Which for only 4 people, I mean, that's not terrible.
Everybody gets a row.
Right, it's not terrible. But
I mean, obviously a
it's
limo's better.
Not a limo. I mean, Gene now can't drink, and so he's very upset.
Yes.
I have to be sober for several hours?
Unacceptable. And that leads us into episode 4, because at the very end of episode 3, we suddenly see the limo pulled over by a cop. And that brings us to the beginning of episode 4, where everyone is concerned because they are waiting for Howard to speak up to the cop, because Howard is in...
He's in the boss's seat.
He's in the king's seat, man.
seat.
I never
knew that.
I didn't either, but boy, Piper is like an expert on the king's seat. It's ridiculous.
You think about it, if it's on if you're in that side in that seat, you're in the most comfortable seat. You're the one in charge.
You're in the most comfortable seat. You have the most legroom. You face everything, and you're right next to the window in case you have to roll it down to speak to someone. In this case, a cop.
Right.
And I don't think we ever found out why they were pulled over.
I think it was the flamingo.
It was the flamingo.
They were hanging the flamingo out the
Too
window,
far.
which is a no-no if you're driving. So
I mean, it was really funny. It was a really funny bit, and it got the guys in the van in a little bit better spirits. I did like, I don't remember who said it, but at the end of the 3rd episode, somebody's like, Jimmy's hair can't take riding in a van for that long. It's gonna be too hot. And of course, Gene, you'll never work in this town again. Like so good.
Pissed at the commercial.
Yeah.
I love that.
What?
Like, what kind of a threat is that?
Yeah, Rhett and
What
Link, one of the
town?
most successful online creators. Yeah, they'll never work in this town again.
I just love it. Oh, man.
And so they get pulled over, and Piper is like waiting for Fink to roll down the window and try to say something to the officer. Maybe offer him an autograph, try to calm him down, because they don't want the driver to get a ticket.
No.
But Howard, like, almost chickens out and doesn't do anything. And then, as the cop leaves, Howard's like, "Thank you, officer. Have a good day."
I'm going to see you at Legends House.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, that's
Piper
all
was
you
going to
got?
bite him.
And then we found out that Tony actually gave Howard the king seat, because that was another issue. Howard's not a wrestler. And apparently the king seat's supposed to go to the most experienced one, the most well-known one.
Well, I mean, it's the one who believes they are king should sit in the king seat. So, I mean, arguably it should be like Piper.
Piper has a lot of experience dealing with people.
If the three of us were in a limo, who gets the king seat?
Me.
I think it's me. So,
why?
Well, technically, even though you wrestle, I've been in the wrestling business longer.
Technically.
Well, I've been there.
I'm just better than both of you.
I'm almost 9 years for me.
Almost 9 years?
Yeah. September 2005 is when I started.
God, when did you break in? Never mind.
That's
a
what-
conversation for a different. Like, who broke you in?
See, while you guys are having this conversation, I grabbed the seat.
Yeah. And well played.
And the soapbox Mark takes the king seat.
The smark, thank you,
She's got the brains.
and the glory.
All right. So they arrive in Vegas finally, and they walk in, freaking out because they're staying at the Palms place, and they've never stayed in a hotel this
It
nice.
looks nice.
The Palms is nice.
It's very nice.
They're taking pictures in the lobby with guests.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a big freaking deal. They're legends for crying out.
I think they know.
And they then suddenly walk on, and they're on a stage, and they're like, "What's happening?" And then
So
we
weird.
meet.
And Fink was nervous about possibly performing. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to perform." You've been in the wrestling business forever. How could you be afraid of a crowd?
You stood in a ring in front of 93,000 people once.
And said almost the same lines every time. He had cards.
Is that what it is? He was comfortable with the repetition, but now something new frightens him.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He's been out of practice. He's only been at WrestleMania. He hasn't been touring. He's only been on stage during WrestleMania.
Oh, well,
Whatever.
we meet the general manager, who, again, Gene was googly-eyed for.
Hey, for crying out loud.
Ooh,
Hello.
And we discover that they are going to be a part of a Chippendales performance.
Piper's not
And
having it.
for the first time, absolute silence.
From all of
No
them.
one speaks.
Well, Pat's ideas were all in his eyes. You know exactly what Pat was thinking.
Pat was going to have a good time on this one way or another.
So step one is, all right, guys, well, before we go to rehearsal, you're all going to go ahead and get manscaped. And they're all like, what the hell is manscaping? I don't understand what that is.
The definitions everyone had for what manscaping is, or what they thought. Piper thought it was just getting your pubes done. That's what he thought. Manscaping. Oh, sure. Thanks, Pipe, for giving me that image. Thanks a lot.
I thought
Really
this was
needed that.
TV PG-14 or whatever.
Right.
PG-14.
PG-14?
Sure.
14.
Why not? So
Because you have to have pubes in order to watch. 14-year-olds have pubes, so I'm gonna see how many times I can say pubes.
Pubes Guidance 14. That's what PG stands for.
So they head to the salon, and at the salon, they're getting waxed and spray tanned.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Hart, thankfully, volunteers Hillbilly Jim, the hairiest guy there, to be the first one to get
Friggin'
waxed.
Jimmy Hart has no hair and is like the color of done toast. Like, he has nothing to worry about. He's literally a spectator at this place, which is kind of gross in itself.
So yeah, we watch Hillbilly Jim get manscaped,
Poor guy.
get waxed, and again, going into like the confessional type thing, like the 101, who's just like, it really hurt, and I felt like bad for the lady hearing me scream. I mean, again, he's just trying to be so nice.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. Just imagine, just like near the end, he's just like, I'm sorry. I'm so loud and screaming.
And by the time he comes out and he's completely done, front to back, he is pink. He is the color of those flamingos they were hawking. This is ridiculous.
And we now have that wonderful site that, thanks to the WWE Network, we can always go back and watch Howard Finkel and Mean Gene Okerlund disrobe together.
And Pat Patterson. Let's not forget Pat.
Bend
Well, to be
over.
fair, to-
Bend over.
To be
Tony
fair,
Atlas telling Pat to bend over further. Yeah, Pat, bend over a little more.
To be fair, we've at least seen Pat without a shirt because he did wrestle.
That's true.
Mean Gene and Fink, not so much.
I liked Mean Gene. Howard looked like a Greek god or a goddamn Greek.
Just a goddamn Greek.
So they all go through the process. Piper's having a freaking field day getting waxed.
There's another time he said F this S.
Hacksaw is like, as soon as he's like in there kind of joking with him, and as soon as the first one is pulled, it's like, I'm going to go. I'm getting out of here.
Oh,
Well,
man.
but he pulled a few.
Hack was awful.
Oh, yeah.
He was like
It's
pulling it
slowly
real slow
pulling
on
it.
Piper's like getting ready to punch him and the lady. Just right when she does that first one on Piper, he looks at her and goes, "Seriously, dude?"
You're laughing. Great. Jeez.
And then once when they're all done, they're all prim and proper.
We get to see the finished product, and that was really nice.
Well, Piper, I like Piper also was like, forget waterboarding is torture, man. Just do this.
Tell me what you want.
I'll tell you what you want to know. Anything.
After, like, they kind of do a fashion show to each other.
That's nice.
Showing how smooth they are.
Hillbilly Jim got a standing ovation.
Well, yeah, he had the most area to cover.
And Fink got a spit take.
That was, Hillbilly Jim's like 6'10" of hair.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. No, I know how it feels. At least not part of that I know.
So they head to rehearsal, kind of learning their moves, learning how to rip off the tank tops correctly.
There's
proper
an art
way?
to it.
The
I didn't even
Chippendales
know.
way.
Now everybody knows how to rip off the shirt the right way.
Including TNA wrestler Kenny King.
I was going to say, was that
Yeah.
Kenny King? It looked like him.
Oh, clearly you haven't been to Vegas.
No, I know that he works there, but I didn't know if that was him on camera.
Dude, was that really him?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
wow.
hanging out with
Good
Tony.
for him.
If you go to the Rio, because that's where the Chippendale, at least the last time I was in Vegas. That's
Last time you saw the show.
Last time I had VIP seats.
He was at a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Like on the outside, you know, as you're walking around Vegas, the different stores and theaters, like big wall, like promoting it. So obviously for the Chippendale, there's like these giant pictures of ripped guys. Kenny King is on the freaking wall. Like he is.
Your wall or of the advertisement?
Well, I have a
On his
poster of
wall.
him in my bedroom, but
Okay.
that's besides the point.
No pants.
But I just found, like, the first time I was in the Rio and I'm like, that's Kenny King's a Chippendale. Oh my god.
Former X Division champion Kenny King.
Like, there's a picture of him on the side of a bus for the Chippendales. too.
Yes.
Like, he's a big frickin' deal.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure they know who he is. They're like, yeah, let's put him on the thing. Then it'll get us talked about on AfterBuzz TV.
They must have.
Brilliant. That was a genius idea.
It was pretty exact.
Yeah, because we brought up that other company in a positive light for the first time ever.
Wow. Good for them.
One of their talents.
One of their talents.
Right.
So they go through rehearsal, and backstage at rehearsal, apparently Tony was trying to get by Hacksaw, and he kept shoving him, and somehow this could result in an altercation because now Hacksaw is heated at Tony, Tony's heated at Hacksaw. In a confessional, Hacksaw is throwing things, screaming, like banging into the boom mic above him, like he is pissed over I don't understand what.
That's sort of the thing is that a lot of these guys carry around a lot of baggage. I mean, like emotional baggage, and obviously this whole thing has tapped into some of Hack's baggage from some other time that has to do with something else. Like all these guys carry some baggage, and that's where the real conflict comes in. It's not in what's happening right now, but what has happened that they're drawing from.
Yeah, it seems more like a product of the past than like they even mentioned there was some stuff from back in the day that between the two of them.
Yeah, Tony's hated him for 20 years.
Something like that, yeah.
So
it seemed a little
Gene's worried. Like everyone's kind of like, okay, like think it's going to turn into fisticuffs eventually.
Nobody wins. If these two old guys go at it, man, nobody wins.
Yeah.
Right. But they put their differences behind them for the good of the show.
Like they have done and always will do.
Yep. Show goes off very well. Ladies screaming. Ladies love them. I think Fink got a couple dollars put down the underwear for
Good
all
for
we know.
him.
Yeah, because that's morale booster.
Can I go? I wanted to go back to something
go
during
ahead, go ahead.
rehearsal. It was another good Mean Gene one-liner when he was watching Jimmy Hart like try to dance. He's like, that man's got no ass and a beer gut.
Like he was going, oh man, if I just ripped it off the right, if I went to the gym this morning, I could rip off the shirt right, and just couldn't do it. Just terrible.
And they're like, has he ever gone to the gym?
Well, they showed him in the morning, like on the treadmill, like walking, but they didn't show him. Like,
Yeah.
Well, walking on the treadmill will help rip the shirt.
Exactly. It helps out your biceps.
Right,
Yes,
right.
you work out your biceps on the treadmill.
Yes. I went to gym once.
Just once. Just the once.
I can tell.
I was
Yeah,
there.
It was what, 2-3 years ago?
Right in my biceps. Right
You
there.
were you were not
Very
happy
good.
the next day. No, sir. I remember that.
Are we actually going back in time?
Actually, yeah, you and I worked out together once. You remember that?
No.
Yeah, when we went to
passed out.
LA School of Gymnastics.
Oh, that's not. That was parkour.
Hey, man. That counts.
You did parkour?
Yeah, it was
I
rolling.
can see you did parkour?
Yeah, I could do parkour. Dude, by the end of it, when we just had a chance to like go have fun.
Is there anything on film?
No film.
Damn it.
Yeah.
If anything, it would just be me going, like, or like Tina from Bob's Burgers.
I had fun.
No, I did too, but I was dead.
And then the next week,
I got to
week and a
look
half.
at John Morrison.
Yeah. Statuesque.
Like, holy crap.
My nickname for him is the perfect man. He really is the perfect man.
Speaking of the perfect man, let's talk about Pat Patterson.
Complete antithesis of the perfect man.
The Chippendales and the Legends. So yeah, show goes off. They're all super happy with how it went. They make the drive home, and Piper then decides to take the time to try to console Tony about the whole thing that's going on between him and Hacksaw, because they're his brothers. He cares about them. He doesn't want to see them fight because nobody will win. No matter who won that fight, no one would win.
Yeah.
No, everybody looks bad.
So
Well, not just that. Like, it not just looks bad, but it would be
No, but I mean, just
making the scars deeper.
right. But it's complete lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
Just no matter what happens.
So Tony, kind of listens to it a little bit, but then kind of goes up to go to bed. And everyone's still kind of worried that there's still so much tension that they're like, okay, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when is this going to happen.
Yeah, they're building for the Legends House pay-per-view.
Oh, the special event.
Yeah, especially
Brilliant.
That's what it sounds. It's the whole thing. Especially, you can't talk to Mean Gene about anything kind of serious because it'll end up sounding like a pitch.
So we'll have Fink do the ring announcing. Mean Gene do the commentary. Patterson will ref. And the other guys will just form a couple matches.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
Simple stuff too.
Yeah.
Nothing from the top.
The tennis court will split and a ring will come up.
Who will Ashley valet to the ring?
No one.
Oh no, she's your ring announcer. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, that's
No,
Fink.
Fink.
Or no, yeah, but she'd be good for that. Because you don't really need much of a brain to do that.
No, but she's got a good voice too. She's a singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, she was one of the Pussycat Dolls.
And she actually does sing. Because I remember, because after I saw the first episode and after I kept hearing like, oh, Ashley, it was like, I need to just talk to her and apologize for them. So I went on her Twitter page and I tweeted at her and it was just like, I'm sorry I had to deal with these dirty old men. Good luck with whatever you're working on. And it's like, my new album just dropped. So it was like, good luck.
Did you listen to anything from it?
I did not.
Oh, well,
I know that she sings.
We should definitely listen.
We
to
should.
Yeah, maybe next week we'll get a clip of her album played a little bit.
Sounds good.
That. Actually, she may be the intro song for next week.
Why not?
Yeah.
Let's plan that.
We can do
All right.
that.
All right. Do that.
So we're already planning that for next week. And in the midst of this, we're going to get ready for more fun of Legends House next week. And it's 95% confirmed. It's
95 as we've been sitting in this booth. It's gone from 90 to 95.
We're somewhere. Let's say 93. We're somewhere in
93.
between. We're
Still,
not.
that's 3%.
We're not 100% confirmed yet, but most likely next week, one of these legends that you're seeing on the show is gonna be here with us. It might be sitting on that couch
Sitting
right
on that
there,
couch, looking us in the eye and wanting to tear our heads off.
making fun of us to no end,
Oh, I love
and
it.
telling stories.
Oh, stories. They've got stories. Ha!
So you have to make sure that you tune in next week. Well, you should tune in every week, but especially
Well,
next
But
week.
also, they're
certainly-
downloading on iTunes.
They should.
Yeah,
download
we've been
on
in the
iTunes.
top 10 a couple, all week.
This entire week. We went as high as like number 5.
Yeah,
and
we were
then,
5.
And then we've been 10 for a week. Thank you, everybody, for listening on iTunes.
That's right, and keep the listening, keep the downloads coming, and feel free to continue to tweet us as we get ready for next week's Legend House. So, Hobo, how can our fans tweet you?
I am on Twitter at TrueHobo, and you can see the both of us at youtube.com/soapboxcartv.
That's right.
And Mark.
You can find the two of us at Soapbox Car TV. Sunday, Hobo's got a title match, not against me, but I will be at the event. We're going to be putting it live in the afternoon. It's going to be it's a good time. You can find me on Twitter at SoapboxMark, and we'll talk about things.
What things? You have to tweet him to
Yeah, you
find
have to tweet
out.
me to find out.
And you can follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC. You could also check out Hobo, and Mark doing NXT AfterBuzz on Thursday.
Oh, yeah,
Thursday.
And you can check me out doing AfterBuzz SmackDown on Friday. And also this Thursday, keep tuned to AfterBuzz because I'll be interviewing whoever won The Voice tonight. Was doing this tonight, so I didn't get to watch it live. But whoever won, I will be interviewing them on the phone live here at AfterBuzz. So thanks so much for tuning in.
I bet they can sing. I bet that's going to be...
They probably can sing better than me.
Can sing.
A little better than me. So thanks so much for tuning in to this week's Legend House for the Hobo and Mark Donica. I'm Christian Rosenberg. We'll see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.